What's up? My name is Ken Dumbo, the MC with the sauce. Don't forget to subscribe to J. Cool.
Hello and welcome to Shosta's House, a show where we discuss, matters that are driving the conversations in the country. My name is Jackson Piri, and today today we are very happy to have a very special guest in the name of Rafa Nakachinda. He is the Patriotic Front Secretary General, and of course, most of you who follow these political conversations must be very familiar with the gentleman, and of course, he's here with us just to be able to clarify on one or two things, and of course, so we can learn from them as a PF and where they're going from here. Honourable, thank you so much for making time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Piri, and good morning. And I think we're still in the morning.
Yes.
To our viewers and listeners.
I know you have a very busy schedule. Even just this morning, you are very busy, but we've made time, so we are not taking that for granted.
Thank you very much.
Yes. For people who are watching you for the first time, in a nutshell, how do you describe who Rafa Nakachinda is?
Well, of course, I take the view that the end of the matter is better than the beginning thereof. In the sense that after our tour of duty and then we retired in the bosom of the Lord, people will be able to trace back and describe your footprint and who you are. But maybe from the perspective of the fact that I was born over 45 years ago, it's amazing that the 50 mark seems to be fast approaching. If there was a way to delay, I would have
could have bought the time.
From a tender age, apparently I was indoctrinated, I think, even before I was 10 years old, by some of the people involved in the fight for independence within the region. By then, of course, Zambia had just, attained its independence. But the likes of Emerson Mnangagwa, whose elder brother was quite close to my father,
Okay.
and Mr. Stanford Plaza and others, who were involved in the liberation struggle in Zimbabwe and the apartheid regime, as young people, would basically be rounded up and will be given political education. And that's how my political journey started. Amplified just at the introduction of MultiParty Democracy. Even when I was in secondary school, we were used as young people to mobilize the young people towards the introduction of multi-party democracy. And boom, we're here. There are a number of things that have happened in between.
Yes.
We may not have all the time to discuss.
No.
But since the subject is about politics, we got involved into this thing over 30 years ago. And we're still marching and hopeful that our little contribution at every stage, even in the future, will be able to help to shape the future of this country in such a way that our children and the generations to come will still march on the path towards a progressive, continuous progressive path economically and politically.
Wonderful. Honourable, many people believe that the PF is currently fragmented and lacks a unified voice. I wanted to ask you, as PF Secretary General, are you the right person to unite the party, and what proof can you show of progress so far?
Well, I don't think we can even be asking such questions from a personal perspective. Yes, my office is critical to have certain things resolved within the party. But I think PF's philosophy has always been that the collective effort on every front is the one that achieves the desired results. First of all, we have held the party together, regardless of the clear attempt by UPND to destabilize the party. But credit is given to the ordinary members of Patriotic Front that from 2021, when everybody thought that there will be a migration, en masse of our people to UPND, that has not been witnessed. UPND has been desperate to see PF disintegrate. They have made all manner of efforts, including the saga of the October 24th, where one of our colleagues and friend, Mao Sampa, was a bit adventurous by holding, some kind of a conference, which he called a retreat. But I think along the way, emotionally got excited and called it a conference. And what looked like a joke, eventually he started enjoying the fact that now people are calling him Mr. President. The good thing is that obviously he has realized that what happened was injurious not only to the party but also to democracy, because you destroy the main opposition, you are basically assaulting, the nation's democracy. Now, from October 23 to today, apart from the fact that there was a state-sponsored process to change office bearers at the registrar, the members of PF have remained intact, owing to not only the strong leadership insofar as my office is concerned. And I think it's important to credit the likes of Honourable Given Winda, to credit the likes of Nixon Chilangwa, to credit the Central Committee, members of Parliament, council chairpersons and mayors, councillors, and the leadership from the province going down at provincial level, who have kept the fort to make sure that every effort from Misaka in the Ichlema found PF insulated. The only thing Misaka in the Ichlema remained with was the criminal enterprise around the Registrar of Society. We had a professional lady in Mrs. Mende, who was Registrar of Society, who put her foot down and said we cannot allow this illegal attempt to change office bearers. Of course, she was forcefully removed from office. So after that, the police and others have been used to try and protect what they thought would work towards causing the PF to disintegrate. But as we speak today, I think we must all be appreciative that the opposition, as PF, as well as generally, we have remained, vigilant, robust in our provision of checks and balances, even when the environment has become extremely toxic, whether it is in Parliament, whether it is the abuse of the police in stopping us from gathering. From when Misaka Indechina became president, we have not been able to have a political party allowed to have a proper rally, for example. We attempted ourselves as PF a few times to have rallies. You saw how...
I've seen some rallies here and there.
I don't know, apart from 2 or 3 rallies that were organized by, Harry Calabar.
Then there was one, I think, must have been by the SP or something in the Copper Belt.
The reason why you are not able to remember is because there hasn't really been a meaningful engagement in public address, in public gathering by the opposition. The SP attempted, but they were disrupted. So the position is that we have remained united regardless of all the efforts and the abuse of the machinery in all its facets to destabilize
as
the
well
opposition.
you're mentioning some very important things that I want to go back to. At one point you said that there was this state-sponsored enterprise to disintegrate the PF.
Yes.
Most of us hear it like that, but is there some sort of where you get that information? Is there any proof? Is there any anywhere where you get that information where you're convinced that the state sponsors? I don't know if Mao Sampa is one of them. I don't know if Chafinga is also one of them.
First of all, with Mao Sampa at least having engaged and reconciled, the information that we have now come to learn is that obviously he himself was being adventurous. He never realized that that effort that he was undertaking would interest UPND to the extent of them beginning to aid. Even him was shocked. It's like you are doing something for yourself, not knowing that you are actually giving an opportunity to the enemy. All of a sudden, he just saw that the state were interested to provide security. at a so-called conference of just less than, 200 people. The whole entire police battalion with all those armored vehicles came to protect that whole process. That's when he dawned on him that it looks like, yeah, of course, it was beneficial for him because he could not, the members of PF could not react in a manner that he thought they would react because they had that state, process. And when I say reacting, is even to politely stop him from having that exercise. Before long, now the state are the ones who are inviting, can you bring your office bearers quickly so that we can take fingerprints? On the 24th of October, which was Independence Day, which was a holiday, in the night by following morning, Mr. Miambango, who was Deputy IG, remember he announced that they had already cleared fingerprints and they had submitted them to the Registrar Society. That never happens. That's evidence enough, because when a normal due process is undertaken, after a conference, for example,
yes,
it is expected that a formal written communication to registrar would be made after maybe 2 weeks or so, because of the fact that there's a process of having those who have been elected, if they have not had their fingerprints cleared, and the process of clearing fingerprints is not an hourly exercise. You expect it to take at least a minimum of maybe 3 to 7 days or 2 weeks. But how is it that within a few hours, in the night, when people are expected to have knocked off, the fingerprints have been cleared? That's evidence number one, that this is staged situation. Further on, how is it that the registrar herself, when she said that this is illegal, she was fired, removed forcefully from the office, and the pronouncement of Jack Mwembo, pronouncements of Akafumba, not only about PF, Akafumba and Levi Ngoma was the political advisor to the president. There is an audio of them saying we're going to use the Registrar Society to dismember, some of the members of a political party. I think that time they were talking of Karaba, Ali Karaba. They were even talking about how they're going to deal with Shindano, the CEO or executive director at ECZ. That audio up to today has not been disputed. They tried to say it is not genuine, as it's not fake. I mean, it is fake. The usual mockery that Zambians are subjected to when they are caught pants down. So that is basically what we're subjected to. They said, no, as far as we're concerned, PF, the conference for them, they had accepted and tried to legitimatize the whole thing.
Let us move. I'll come back to that. The PF, under the opposition alliance, has recently participated in several by-elections and has only managed to win one. You can correct me if I'm mistaken, the Petaoke Central Parliament seat. With this dismal performance, Honourable, is there any real hope for the opposition come 2026?
First of all, before I answer the question, I want just to draw your attention to historical facts. Whether it is under MMD, because maybe some of you were too young to remember the UNIP era, MMD was winning by-elections, even in areas where Patriotic Front was very strong at the time towards 2011. And they would win convincingly. But when it came to 2011 elections, MMD was beaten pants down. PF, a government that I belonged to, I was even a minister,
yes,
would win by-elections in Western Province and other places where UPND was very strong. But when it came to 2021, the situation was different. The trend that should give you hope that definitely the desires, not only of you, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but I think all those who are feeling the pain of economic hardships as a result of the misgovernance of UPND have resolved that in 2026 UPND must go. What they are just seeking for is a proper platform, vehicle they will use to express their wish. And in this case, they are asking questions about PF. When you look at the results in Kawambwa, because that's the first time that PF participated in the by-election meaning through a special purpose vehicle called the NCP under Tonse. When you look at the results, we were getting more than 50% of the results, even when there is voter apathy, because people have just given up. We can't go and participate in these sham by-elections because they are coming at the back of people having been locked up and sent to jail. And people are angry. You understand? So that is already a sign that come the general elections, the opposition will win. Look at Rumezi.
If people are angry that they are coming at the back of people sent to jail, shouldn't they now show the UPND like, no, we're still going to vote in a candidate of our choice?
That's why I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying. The people are angry and they were determined to show that, but they are beaten into submission. The level of violence that UPND take in this by-election, with the concentrated effort of all the government machinery, it's impossible to have ordinary people in one locality to be able to resist and fight back a machinery where, for example, we have people from Southern Province, people from all these provinces, plus the police that is, clearly operating in favor of the ruling party because of the intimidation and also how people are, fired out of their position for just expressing some kind of objectivity. So whether it was in Kawambwa, in Pambashe, the results for those who know politics will tell you that the opposition are on the verge of winning the next election. Look at Rumezi. Rumezi, we adopted a candidate 3-4 days before there was a big, setback, a devastating setback of having lost our leader, the former President Edgar Chagalungu. Morally, it was impossible for the Secretary General, members of Central Committee, Honourable Winda, MPs, to be found campaigning while we were mourning. So the candidate himself remained alone, practically, in Rumezi, without anybody supporting him. Resource-wise, all of us focused on the big issue that has emerged, which we have not yet sorted out up to this particular time. We have not put to rest our leader. But he still got, about 6,501 or something votes against 11,000. That's over 50%.
So the loss in Lumezi is largely because of the funeral?
The loss, practically you have the entire machinery of UPND, 3 choppers of government, and the ECZ that is playing Mingarato. They even go there and find that the ballot papers, which they had printed, had all the errors that would warrant a postponement of the election. They decided to proceed. We don't even know how, for example, they were able to bring in new ballot papers within 24 hours. Was it an issue where they played some game around the ballot papers? Because the ones they brought after 24 hours, nobody inspected. There was no opportunity for them to have stakeholders verify that these ballot papers are equal to the numbers expected in terms of the voter registers. All those factors put in place only shows that that whole election was not free and fair. That's how come we, as Tonse and as the Patriotic Front, we have chosen that they be petitioned and these matters are in court.
So you're petitioning the Mfue...
the
Lumezi by-election?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. How have the ongoing internal disputes within the PF worked to the party's disadvantage, especially during this conversation, the elections?
I think the so-called disputes, they are neither here nor there. Because, for example, with Mao Sampa, one of the reasons for which Mao Sampa agreed for us to reconcile and negotiate, his own confession, if you go to the video, tell you he has been traversing the country. Everywhere he went, they told him, "Mwana, uliweka muli ifurechta, welela ku family." The only thing is that he has proven to everybody, which is not a weakness and I think a strength, he has proven to everybody that even when he was in the wrong, I think the greatest value of a person is that when you are in the wrong, you realize. Had he continued to pursue the route he was taking, maybe would have been judging differently. But he listened to what the people are saying according to him, and he came to the forward and said, "Colleagues, let's resolve this issue." Okay? Chafinga, who people want to credit and suggest that he is leading a faction. It's nonsensical. Chafinga is a tool in the pocket of Hakainde Hichilema with evidence out there. First of all, before even the embarrassing audios that came, which have come out now, the president, carried Chafinga to many state functions. He's visiting Kasama or Northern Province. He's with Chafinga from the plane. He's telling him, before cameras, Kosafye Mwaiche Kosa. Just continue on the path. Continue on which path? Because he has been made leader of opposition illegally, and he was now projecting himself that I'll take over the leadership if Mao Sampa does not deliver to you, Mr. President. Deliver what to the president? If it is about the opposition political party, is to deliver PF to Hakainde Hichilema. So, the Chafinga is a society misfit who Hakainde Hichilema is actually taking a risk to even associate with him. Already he has been embarrassed as a result of associating with that boy.
I will come back to the embarrassment that's going to the president as a result of his association with Chafinga, according to you. I will come back to that. I have two questions. You just said he was made leader of the opposition illegally.
Yes.
How is a leader of the opposition picked, and how was he found there? How was Honourable Chafinga found there?
Because we have a polarization of parliament, the speaker is expected to follow the law which they enact in that house. And the law is very clear, including the Concourt has made a ruling that the speaker cannot become selective on how a leader of opposition is supposed to be chosen. They're just supposed to be given a notification or correspondence from the party. When Mao Sampa undertook to do the exercise he took, we went to court and applied for a stay, which was granted. And therefore, the correspondence from Mao Sampa over Chafinga could not have been sustained by the speaker. But the speaker was so excited as to recognize Chafinga quickly that he was leader of opposition, even when matters were in court. Now, when you do an illegality, soon it will catch up with you. What has happened? Mao Sampa, after we reconciled, there was a stay against him when he chose to expel Chafinga and expel Ngona. That stay was eventually vacated by the court. When a stay has been vacated, it means that the decision of the leader at the time, Mao Sampa, is sustained. So as we speak, Chafinga is expelled. What did we do? Because we have reconciled, Mao Sampa recognized that the Secretary General, genuine Secretary General of the party, is Honourable Rafa Nakachinda. He repeated that even in writing, that the Secretary General is Honourable Rafa Nakachinda by the appointment, which people thought was controversial. But from a legal technicality point of view, because the matter had not yet been resolved in court, the only thing we could do is to have him deposit the powers required in the office of Secretary General to make administrative decisions. Chafinga was expelled. And I communicated to the speaker that now the leader of opposition is Mao Sampa. You understand? They don't have to draw themselves into our issues. But do you know what the speaker did? The speaker says, no, there are matters in court. Court in her own web. The first time, she didn't recognize that there were matters in court. This time around, she changes standards and says the matters are in court and therefore can't recognize Mao Sampa. It is that.
What are the matters that she was referring to right now that are still in court?
The matter that where we have signed the consent between Mao Sampa and ourselves, and that Chafinga has applied for a joinder. Now, applying for a joinder does not change the status quo legally of who the leader is and who should correspond with the speaker. That is what the position is.
So, for now, what should happen? What should happen going forward in terms of the PF, the speaker, and the Honourable Chafinga?
The speaker should just back her off. She's not PF, so she can't start getting involved in the business of PF. And even taking it on the floor of parliament. A speaker to start saying, no, you people, you need to solve your problems in PF.
Has the speaker done anything illegal in all this?
Yes.
What
as
has
we
she done?
Stand recognizing Chafinga as leader of opposition is illegal. It's illegal. It's against the law. It's against even the ruling of the Concourt.
Why are you not taking her to court?
We have gone to court several times. The court makes a pronouncement. These people ignore court rulings.
The court is making pronouncements, and the speaker, the speaker is ignoring the pronouncements from the court.
Are you here?
I'm trying to get it from you, not me. I'm not.
Because in Zambia, you should know that time rulings ya court ya wata wayachini.
I'm trying to get it from you. I'm not here to be the one to make statements. So what you're saying is that the speaker has been ignoring the court pronouncement.
Yeah, of course. If she had respected the court pronouncement, she would have done what? She would have respected correspondence from the party that the leader of opposition is Mao Samp. Just recently, the court ruled that the process of enacting Bill 7, the enacting Bill 7 is unconstitutional and therefore it should be stopped. What did the speaker say? She said the court has no power to stop this process. That's how come everybody's saying, why is she getting this, where is this audacity coming from? To even insult the court in their face that they don't have the power to dictate what happens in parliament. Where is the checks and balances? Before we even talk about the checks and balances from opposition, just a separation of powers where the executive, the judiciary, and parliament are expected to be distinct. The executive are checked by what parliament does. And what parliament does is checked by the judiciary. You understand? And the judiciary also checks the executive. If we have any issues which we feel the executive, led by Hakainde Hichilema, is doing against us as citizens, we go to the judiciary. The moment the judiciary makes a pronouncement, it doesn't matter whether you agree with them or not, that pronouncement is respected. That's how societies become orderly, because at the end of the day, the sacred conscience of our nation that is expected to dispense justice is the judiciary. Now, if the judiciary is disrespected with impunity, remember over Honourable Bowman Osambo and Honourable Malanji's by-election in Kwacha and Kabushi.
Yes.
ECZ attempted to donate to itself powers they don't have by writing a circular that will not allow candidates from PF to feature because they caused the by-election without any pronouncement from court. We went to court and obtained a stay. Bowman, Mananji, they still blocked them. Even when the court had pronounced that this that the ECs are doing is illegal. Hakainde Hichilema himself, as president, was campaigning in Kabushi, even after there was a pronouncement from the High Court. And then after 2 days, for whatever reason, he decided to come out. He was even saying at the airport, how can a president begin to suggest he doesn't know the wrong he has caused, that he has disobeyed the court order? You understand? That is just to show you the level of impunity within this government. And those are the issues that we are raising. Yeah.
Honourable, thank you. I would like us to move on. 2026 is approaching, yet all these things that we have talked about, some issues are still in court. What happens if your legal matters remain unresolved by 2026? Would there be an alternative?
Well, I think we have already decided that we cannot allow the court to be the one to decide who our president is. A political party can't subject its final position on who should be the leader through court processes. I think we are in a democratic society. We have already begun to consider that after our mourning period, and we have put to rest our leader, we are going to a central committee, chart a way forward. And obviously, a clear position according to our constitution is that we're heading the route of holding a conference. That route or path of going to hold a conference is one that we think is going to cure all these problems. Chafinga, if he really...
I was coming to that actually. Yes,
if
please.
Chafinga truly believes is a member of Patriotic Front, I am saying with every authority at my disposal as Secretary General, positional, moral, and democratic authority, is that Chafinga will be invited if he really believes that he is worth to be the leader of Patriotic Front, to come and participate in that conference. And if he truly wins, he will be respected and actually supported by everybody. So I want to say today that there's a conference that is going to be held, and Chafinga will also be invited to come, so that we stop these shenanigans of trying to subject the court to unnecessary political interference, especially looking at the fear that the UPN have. Because both feared for their lives, judges are fearing for their lives and their jobs. You can see from hesitation to handle the PF issue. How is it that when it comes to matters that involves PF leaders at personal level, the court seems to be agitated whether it's in the subordinate court, when you go as a PF leader, the magistrates are like, this matter needs to move fast. It's like there's an invisible hand somewhere that is pushing to say, if you don't hear this matter, you'll be misunderstood. But when it comes to a PF institutional issue, it has dragged for more than 2 years. We're going to 3 years. We have written to the Chief Justice, we have written to other stakeholders, and our letters and the correspondence have fallen on deaf ears. The answers we get are just technical answers, mundane answers. My hands are tied. I can't interfere. You understand what I'm saying? And we know we live in the same environment. When such answers are coming, just know that basically there is some invisible hand that people are afraid of.
Do you think if you invite Honourable Robert Nagashinda Chafinga to come to the convention, he will come? Another question I also have is, do you think at his own liberty he's willing to create a convention that should happen and have all of you invited?
I don't think I can enter in Chafinga's mind and heart to determine whether he will be willing to come or not. The only thing I can do myself is to state a principled position. And that principled position is either somebody, respects principle or they disrespect principle. The principled position is that, PF is a democratic political party. Anybody who desires to lead it must not come through a shortcut and through Mingarato. There is a transparent process to which all the leaders within PF that are eligible will be given an opportunity to express themselves and convince the members and convince the Zambian people by extension that they are worth considering for leadership. So if Chafinga believes he's a leader worth his salt, he will be, he will be willing to come.
He said that after the burial, you should not see any of you at the Secretariat. Is it something that you're willing to obey?
Well, those threats to obey from Chafinga,
yes,
it's an insult even to ask that question. For you to even suggest that I should respond to a society misfit is threat. A self-confessed criminal, I should then be responding whether I should go to secretary and so on. I mean, let's have this is a national matter. National matters we're discussing, and in Zambia, journalists, please, let's up the game. Even to have Chafinga become a topic for almost 15 minutes, we are reduced.
Honourable, I would like to point out to you that the way you are a critic to some people, right? You are a critic to people like even the president and a lot of people.
Yeah.
You will expect other people to be critics. And those people have the potential to create a narrative out there that you would not agree with.
Yes.
So if a journalist or a person like me gives you a platform, it's for you to clear the path and correct the narrative. So if you are going to say, I can't be asked that question, you are tolerating those narratives that are being created out there to go the way they are. So your job sir, is to correct the narrative and move.
Mr. Piri, even refusing to answer about Chafinga, I'm correcting the narrative.
They're giving credence to the narratives out there.
No.
Because you're letting them, because that's what people are talking about. You're letting them go the way they are. But if you say, the correct position is this, then we move.
Mr. Piri, if I refuse to talk to somebody because I think they are society misfit, I'm already correcting a narrative. Even refusing is correcting the narrative. If I think that Chafinga is not worth discussing because what he's doing is nonsensical, if I discuss this fellow all the time, I'm giving him credence. You understand? That's the perspective.
He's not even the major topic right now, Honourable.
Right now, I agree with you.
Thank you.
Most obliged.
There's a number on the screen. Please make use of it. You can give us a call and talk to Honourable Rafa Nakachinda. He's Patriotic Front Secretary General. There's a lot of things we're discussing, and of course, you could bring in your questions and your contributions. Honourable, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, I saw a statement where they banned the use of party regalia by political parties not participating in specific election. My question to you is, will the PF comply and stay away from using such regalia where it is not permitted?
What the ECCs are trying to do is not anchored on the law. Okay?
It's not what?
Anchored on the law. Okay. We are in an alliance called Tonse. And the different political parties have come and agreed on an electoral pact in relation to by-elections.
Yes.
And I've decided that we're not going to feature candidates split from all political parties who are members of Tonse.
Yes.
We resolved we're going to have a special purpose vehicle to which NCP was chosen. So PF is a member of Tonse. And so are other political parties, Christian Democratic Party and other political parties. Okay? Now, when we feature a candidate and PF is going to campaign for that candidate as decided by this alliance, I can't wear NCP regalia as Secretary General. I'm not Secretary General of NCP, I'm Secretary General of PF. So when I go to campaign for this agreed upon candidate, I'll be going there to send a message that as PF, we think this candidate and we're standing with this candidate. How does that become illegal? You understand what I'm saying? They themselves, the UPND, Zaromis herself, the chairperson of ECZ, who's a member of UPND, when they were campaigning together with other political parties in 2021, including in the by-elections of Kawamba, Neva Sumba went there as purporting to be MMD president, and he was wearing MMD regalia in a by-election. They didn't find anything wrong with that. Right now, that behavior is just as a result of the fact that UPND is so afraid of PF, so afraid of Edgar Chagwanungu, not only when he was alive, even in death.
I have a question for you, Honorable. With this conversation, I followed Madam Vice President's response in Parliament.
Yes.
Where she read from the electoral process number 35 of 2016.
Yes.
I just want to hear your response. So she read some clause, and one of the clauses she read was 89N. If you allow me, I can read it for you.
Yes.
So this one says a person shall not, on N, being a candidate, use a symbol in the course of an election other than the symbol registered with the Chief Electoral Officer in accordance with the Act and any regulations thereunder, or in the case of any other person, associate any candidate with any symbol in the course of election other than the candidate's registered symbol. I would like to know what your response is on what she read in Parliament. Okay.
So, for example, the symbol NCP and the candidate is a stool. I mean, it's a chair, isn't it?
Yes.
So, to that effect, it says a person. It's not saying about political parties. It's saying a person who's a candidate. You understand?
Yes.
But in this case, this person who's a candidate is lucky to have the support or won the support of not only his own political party, but other political parties. Himself will take the symbol of a chair. Himself, he will wear the regalia of NCP. Himself will be projecting the symbols of the political party he belongs to. But those who come to support him, you can't restrict them. The law doesn't talk about what the other political parties in this alliance should do. It just talks about him. So when we go as PF, I'll be lifting my symbol as a supporter of this candidate as PF. The candidate will be lifting the chair, maybe that's the way they do it, or you'll be seated to show that this is my symbol. You understand what I'm saying? But we will not go and say, now that we have come to support you, lift a fist. No. Now that we have come to support you, wear PF regalia. No. But us who are supporting him from PF, having agreed in this alliance, you understand? Having agreed in this alliance, you can't stop us from wearing party regalia. That's a principle.
Can I get it from you that you are suggesting the Vice President was misleading the nation in the House?
She has misled the nation many times. If people were serious in this country, that woman would have been retired. You understand what I'm saying? She has said many unintelligent things on the floor of Parliament to the embarrassment of the country.
Honourable, producer says we have a lot of phone calls. Are we ready?
Are
we there? Hi there. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, actually, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon. How are you? Hello.
Hello. At least
hello?
I can hear that.
You can hear?
Yeah.
Hi. Good afternoon. Can you get me?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Thank you very much. I would like to know your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Halima. I'm calling you from Lusaka.
What's your name?
Halima.
Halima, please
Yes.
go ahead and talk to Honourable Nakachinda.
Good afternoon to you, sir. I just wanted to find out if Mwanawasa is still eligible to stand as PF president.
Okay.
Yes.
Am I able to engage?
Yes.
My dear sister,
Yes, sir.
the processes about candidature and Mwanawasa standing, like I said, there is going to be a transparent process. I've even gone to an extent of saying this democratic process, even Chafinga will be invited. If he thinks he's worthy, being a leader, he will come and contest. So if we can extend even to Chafinga, what of Mwanawasa, who was even reconciled with the party and who have even a consent judgment? So to us, reconciliation means that all other atrocities that may have been, allotted to him and would warrant punitive measures, by the word itself called reconciliation, it means that we are starting afresh. And to that effect, I can tell you he's eligible if he so desires, to offer himself for leadership.
Thank you so much for that clarity.
Thank you.
Thank
we appreciate you. There's a number on the screen. You could use it to give us a call. And, if you have any contributions or any questions for the PF Secretary General, you could come through. Hi there. Good afternoon. Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir. How are you?
Very fine, thank you. Your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Honourable Robert Nagashinda. Good morning. Good afternoon, Ade.
Good afternoon. Said Honourable
Honourable
Mukosa.
From
yes.
Chinsali.
No, from Lusaka here.
You are honourable for what?
What is the way the honourable means?
No, you can just explain to us so we don't waste time on it. Just explain and then ask your question, please.
Yes. Comrade, I want to correct the narrative which Nakachinda is trying to drive at. Where he's blaming you generally to say you are asking him about Chafinga. Chafinga and Rafa Nakachinda are in the same WhatsApp group. What Chafinga is doing to PF today is what Nakachinda did to MMD then when they lost the power. There's no difference. He is one of the people that destroyed and killed MMD to the extent where it is today. There's no difference. So for him to start making a rubbish what Chafinga is doing today, he's just putting himself in that same shoe to say, I'm also in that same WhatsApp group. How can he be saying the vice president has been misleading the House when we have just read just one article? Read all the articles that the vice president read in that House. Then you understand that what they are doing and what if it is the UPND and other political parties did that. It is only that the people that were in charge then, they never respected the rules. And we saw it in the street of Lusaka, where people are saying everything was done, everything that was reported to the law was normal.
I'm asking if we can conclude. We can conclude?
Yes, I'm concluding. Nakachinda, don't you think when you come on a podium like that one, you are talking to the ex-commanders of PF? There is people that are listening who are well invested when it comes to these issues that you are talking about. Don't try to mention that you have a problem because of other people. You are the problem yourself. You have failed to handle PF. That's why you continue clinging into Edgar Lungu. Even when he retired, you have to go back so that you will continue. You cannot survive politically by Edgar Lungu. This part is going nowhere. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Seems to be having an international caller. Let me see if I can add them here. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Paul. I'm calling from Germany.
You're calling us from Germany? Your name is Paul?
Yes, please.
You may go on, please.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Honourable Nakachinda a question because he was talking about the process of allowing the process of where they will go for the conference and everyone will be allowed, and even Honourable Chafinga will be allowed to contest. But then my question is invited, yes, to contest. So, in another sense, he was talking about Honourable Chafinga being suspended from the party. So, how would that happen? Would the suspension be lifted for him to be invited to come and participate or contest, or how would that legality be handled by the party? Since on one end he talked about Honourable Chafinga being suspended from the party.
Maybe I can engage him since you're still
Okay, so since you're still here, maybe he can engage you, yeah?
Yeah. My brother,
Yeah, sure.
there are two sides to the issue we are dealing with. There is a question of how do you resolve these matters, the fact that they are still in court and they have not been resolved. And I think the reality that I've presented is that would have loved the judiciary to have dispensed of these matters a long time ago, so that it is very clear. But as it stands, because the court has not been able to pronounce itself on clear issues relating to the party, the only other solution is for us to go to the conference. And because there is this matter which is pending in court and has not been resolved, we will invite Chafinga because he is surviving on the straw of having these matters delayed. We are not compromising on the position of the law. The law is very clear that what happened on the 24th of October 2023 was illegal, and that we have presented to the courts. And the courts have not been able to be helpful for the past 2 years and some months. Now we are going towards 2026. Are we going to continue waiting? The only way to resolve it is to invoke now the democratic process within the party, to which in this case, regardless of the misconduct of Chafinga and so on, let him come and test his popularity within the party through that process. So not that we are condoning or we are changing our position. We're just saying, if the court doesn't pronounce itself by tomorrow, by the other day, and Chafinga is still holding on to that legal technicality, we will then have to resolve it through a democratic process. Basically, that is what I was saying.
So in short, his suspension will be lifted.
Listen, it's not even about pronouncing ourselves as whether suspension is lifted or not. We have a dispute in court. Remember, we had a dispute with Mao Sampa first. But for Mao Sampa, the nobility of the process is that Mao Sampa was coming to the table to reconcile. But the unfortunate part is that Chafinga has not come to the table to deal with that
Thanks
matter.
for tuning in
So
to
if we
JQ
can't
News.
talk,
Don't
we
forget to
can't,
like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates on tech, politics, and everything in between. Until next time, stay cool.